Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound, and while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to understand about this practice. So, as all we experience nowadays, our life mostly spent with the machines and technology. And these electronic items became a kind of like a part of our life now. And then, so by the time we start to reflect our own nature through these electronic items. So one of the thing with the computer, and the most of people believe it's kind of like exactly it works like the human brain. And then this artificial intelligence, and people believe it's kind of like the wisdom that we look for. And then, as you know, there are some machines and developed as a robot, and then we think it's kind of like the human body. So like that, ourselves, we start to see this environment as part of us. But if you look very carefully, it's kind of like another illusion that we get into. So the brain is, your brain is not like this computer. It's completely different. It has a very complete different nature. So what will happen if you, now you can't look into the brain and you can't understand the brain, you can't see the brain, and then you think about the computer and its mechanism, its behavior. So then you believe, oh, brain is like this. So then again and again, what will happen, your intention to go towards the machine become more powerful, and you slowly disconnect from the very understanding about the brain. So all other things the same. And then by the time what will happen, we become more comfortable, we start to trust more and more and more this environment rather than our experience. And then you start to believe it, so you start to follow that. So then it's deeply what happens, it's deeply effect for your nature. And then by the time these machines, because of your own believing system, because of your own following behavior, it hijacks your life. And once it hijacks your life, it is very difficult to become free from it. So then it is your own responsibility to take care of yourself from this behavior, and at the same time finding the right path. So when it comes to our life, the very nature of this whole practice allowing us to grow. So then the growth should happen. And at the same time, you have to have a freedom. So those are the two things. Out of this all the practice we try to develop, the freedom, and out of that freedom, our growth. But the thing is, the very illusion or the very misunderstanding that we go through in this time period, and when we look at the human history, and even though we have this all the experience and everything, it's kind of like we have deeper darkness or the ignorance inside us to behave like this way. Why? Because the growth is, now we think our growth means developing more and more and more fast machines and technology. More fast than last year, the last version. More advanced and fast this time. So whatever the phone or the watch or the computer. So then we think, oh, we are growing. Another thing is the biggest illusion that everywhere, wherever people go, if they think if they can go into online themselves and find the Wi-Fi and sit down somewhere and get into their Facebook, YouTube or whatever, Instagram or TikTok or whatever, that they think that is the freedom. That's the freedom. So that is what this new generation start to believe. The growth means having more faster machines, technology around us, and the freedom means how much we can interfere with that, and can we connect as soon as possible? Is there any space for us to? So even the education system failed to put the right seeds or the develop the correct path to the future. So then it is very important for you to rescue yourself, because no one going to come to you and help you to get out of this system. Everybody try to get into that system. Maybe in the future, that most of the time, if the society, if the society become more mindful, and maybe they will look back and they will recognize that we are this generation is the kind of like the most ignorant and useless generation. Why? Because we lose all the very fundamental qualities that we carry within us as humans. And then we start to believe, we start to follow something which is not real. But still, it's there, and no one can escape from that. So then it is our responsibility to develop more and more and more awareness. So that's why practicing this is very necessary. Why? Because by book, you can't get it. It's like if somebody try to swim, Just by reading books, you can't. So then you have to get into the water. And once you get into the water, and again and again, it takes time. It's not like overnight you can do something. It takes time. The process itself, the path towards the wisdom, not you just achieve to something. The process, understand it very carefully. The process itself teach you things. But today, people don't want to go in the process. They can't handle it. They always want the result. Very quick. And everybody push us to be fast. The speed is kind of like a become the power. How speed your computer, then your computer is better than my one. And how speed, it's your cell phone. How speed the internet, oh, we give a more better speed than you, and then people go and get it. More faster things. So then it came, it's not the outside. So that's it came from us. Our own inner behavior push us to develop it, and it ignite and our own behavior again and again and again. So we are the one who did that. And now we are the one who get the benefit out of it. So, but the thing is, becoming so fast and becoming kind of like a go behind the power, becoming powerful with something, it's never going to give us the right understanding or the clear wisdom. So then what we need? When it comes to the wisdom path, remember the most important part is the wisdom. To get whatever you want, the base should be the wisdom. So then out of this all, you have to gain the wisdom. Wisdom, there is a method that you can gain the wisdom. It's not, you can't get it by wishing, hoping, dreaming, praying for that. So the wisdom you can gain out of practice. So then what you can practice? And how you can practice? So your growth itself means, your growth should come out of the freedom, the wisdom. Just imagine if there is something grow with the ignorance, it is very dangerous. And your freedom should come out of the wisdom. Just imagine in case if something or somebody become free or freedom, find the freedom, without the wisdom, what will happen? So then again and again, we have to look backward and see what happened to the wisdom. Where the true wisdom that when it comes to the society. And are we have any will, are we willing to be wiser than who we are? And when children go to school, and not only the preschool, even the universities. And if you ask from the students, are you want to be wiser than this? And sometimes people believe, oh, this is good for me. And some people, they don't want to be wiser. And then some people believe the wisdom as what they think. So that is why The wisdom path has a greater challenge today more than any other time. So, but you can get it to that only by practicing the right wisdom. So, when it comes to that, one of the important things that you have to develop, if you look for the wisdom, you have to learn to be silent. Being silent, it's a kind of like you build up a environment to be aware. So silent is kind of like water. It's kind of like the water. You need again and again and again. And most of the time, just imagine that every day, it's not enough for you. It's every day. It's a one of the fundamental property that we have around us. And all this life came to this earth because of the water. So silent is kind of like that for the wisdom. If there's no silent, there's no wisdom. So then always remember yourself to find that silence. It's a kind of like a slowly get out of that inner conversation, and at the same time really practicing being silent yourself, not to have any kind of communication with others, verbal. So you need some kind of effort, practice to be like that way. We do that sometimes when we have the anger, hatred, jealousy, we get silence. When we get mad, we don't talk. That doesn't work. Because whatever you practice, so the very first principle you have to remember, practice to be silent. Get into deeper silence, little by little. And never do anything with the greed, hatred, or the delusion. When you see something, when you hear something, when you smell something, taste something, feel something, or any mental image or visualizing or thinking, never do it with the greed, hatred, or the delusion. Then you can't go there. So silence the same. When you want to be silent, look, what is the reason behind it? Anger, then it's not going to take you to wisdom. Hatred, not going to take you to wisdom. Disappointment, not going to take you to wisdom. Unhappiness, not going to take you to wisdom. And a lot of people become silent because of the fear. It's not going to take you to wisdom. See, that we have this, we know how to be silent, but our reason behind this is so different. But here, now you become silent, very purposefully. You become silent with one reason. So that's to be wiser, to grow yourself to be wiser. And why you need to be silent? When you become silent, what will happen? So then you gain one of the major important practice, and that is awareness. So it helps you to be aware when you become silent. So once you have the awareness, you are capable to recognize Whatever happened exactly as it is. Not with whatever the things that you want or you don't want, or kind of like that. So then, once you have the awareness, how the awareness works, you can see clearly. So now remember the process. You become silent. That silence is not related to the greed, hatred, anger, jealousy, disappointment, unhappiness, fear, worry, so that kind of. And you become silent to be wiser, to grow yourself, to find the wisdom. And then it will help you to have the awareness, because when you become silent, that you start to see things very clearly, feel things very clearly. And your awareness start to grow. So once the awareness grow, you can see. And once you see, what will happen? When you see, there is a very interesting thing happen in you. What is that? So as you know, this perception. So with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, what we perceive, it's kind of like a feelings inside us. It's a stimulate our own mind or the behavior, memory, stimulate. The perception is stimulate. That's the power of the feelings. It ignite, trigger. When the feelings touch, it's arise in you, it triggers something. And what will happen? That triggering method or that stimulation lead us to respond. That's where the actions arise, bodily, verbally, mentally actions. Perception arise with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. The feelings arise, it stimulates us. And out of that stimulation, that means our mental formations start to respond to that, whatever we perceive. Once you have the awareness, once the mind becomes clear, what happens? You can see, listen this very carefully and try to catch it. Be with me. So once the perception arises, once it stimulates you, and before it go into the respond, as you transform to your bodily, verbally, mentally actions, you can see there is a gap. In that gap we call the present moment. Even though you have all your past experience, in that gap, in that present moment, your awareness is the most powerful tool. So then what happens? You are capable to, if you see that gap in between the stimulation and the response. So if you see that gap, you can recognize in that very moment that your awareness is the master. It is powerful. So that means you can take whatever, rather than go with the patterns, habits, methods, or your previous actions, or your experience, or your memory. In this very moment, you are capable to take whatever the decisions you want. That is what the real freedom. That is where the freedom arises. That is what the freedom. Because it can experience by only you. No one can do it for you. Perception arises, stimulates us, and then before it go to the respond or as a reaction, what happens? There is a space. So once the awareness able to reach to this space, you are capable to recognize the power of the freedom, taking conscious decisions just only by yourself without becoming a bias to anything. It doesn't matter how long you used to keep doing something. It doesn't matter, entire world keep going that way, but you have the opportunity to take the whatever the decisions you want. And once you are capable to use that freedom to change that your own behavior from your previous action, and in this very moment you recognize whatever the profitable for you, and when you are capable to change your own behavior and take a conscious decision using that freedom in between the stimulation and the respond, that reaction, if it is you use it to the profitable way, that another way mean if you can use that conscious decision as a kind of like a wholesome action, as a good action, that is what called the growth. So you are yourself grow. So this is a very deeper conscious practice. So you can do it. It is there. You can experience it. So you can change yourself. Then you have to question yourself why you keep doing something. So maybe you didn't suffer enough. Or maybe you didn't see it very clearly as the truth. Or still maybe you have to go through some experience to recognize it is useless. So then always remember, practicing meditation, giving you that highest ability of the growth to happen in you. So it is not just closing your eyes and sitting down and waiting for something. No, it's a more and more and more being silent with the intention to be wiser and develop the awareness. And out of that awareness, you have the recognition. The recognition regarding your perception, that means what you experience, and the perception, and once it perceived, and how the response happened. So in between that, you are capable to settle down your awareness. And then it's a moment by moment process. Each and every step, each and every moment, you have to go through it. Little by little, little by little, little by little. So it takes time. It's a process, and no one can predict, oh, it's going to be like this, or it's going to be like that. No. So then in your life, you have to take opportunity. Then in your life, you have to have the strength to accept the moment and go with it. It doesn't matter whatever the moment. Only thing is, are you aware? That is where you have to focus rather than outside conditions. So whatever the situation or whatever the condition, whatever the environment, let it be. Come to you and see, are you aware while you experience that? Why? Because if you aware, if your awareness sharp and clear, then you see how you go through. And then at the same time, you are capable to change all the reactions. So then you are the one who can change the history. So you are the one who can change the pattern. So you are the one who can bring the profitable skills. So you are the one who can perform wholesome action. Where? Right now, right here. How long? Each and every moment you are living in this world. So once you see this method again and again, again and again, rather than mind go towards the fantasies or the imagination, so you start to deeply resonate with this moment of experience. And then you see it. You take actions, you experience it, and you see how it changed. And you see then how the growth happens. So then there is no doubt about it. And that is a totally different way of living rather than this imagination. But today, we are in a society, we are in a current around us, everything help us to imagine, visualization, imagination, dreaming. So then, when you have opportunity, start to settle down. Learn to go deeper and practice little by little, little by little, little by little. Start to being silent. Practice yourself to be silent. And hold it to that silent. Be comfortable being in the silent. But never do it because of the anger, hatred, jealousy, fear, ignorance, that kind of reasons. And develop the awareness and find the space in between the perception, stimulation, and the respond. And each and every moment take a conscious decision. Maybe this time not going to work, then next time try. Again and again, again and again. Take it slowly. Go step by step. Don't be hurry. Slow down. And at the same time, know yourself and do your best. In that way, you will see every day you start to grow little by little, little by little. So then enjoy the process. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit. So your right palm on your left hand, neck hit straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say so patveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. So when it happens through the sensation, recognize it, do nothing extra. So if your mind go here and there, bring it back again and again, just settle down with the sensation. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. to all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Stay sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Also, by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata cha ammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjissami idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuntutu. Bless you.